I was trying to connect the camera to the laptop, but I don't know how to do it. I guess the portal didn't open after all.
Hidden in the world's most isolated and treacherous landscapes, monks have been silently living extraordinary lives. They possess abilities that seem superhuman, from surviving for years in freezing snow to effortlessly scaling a steep mountain.
Oh, damn, bro, you gotta watch this.
How are such astonishing feats even possible? These monks hold secrets that continue to
Look, they got monks that after they died, they got mummified and they put glasses on him. I'm telling you, bro.
Number 17, the monk living in snow in Mount Piat.
All those people that doing like, I don't know, I think we all of us are God. I can do whatever we want. That's why I need to find out what the fuck I really want to do. But these people, I think they have to eat certain food and shit. Like, I ain't trying to do all that. You know what I'm saying? I just want to.
Secret to his survival, a deeply rooted spirit
Too much.
that transcends the physical body. Monks like him develop incredible mental strength through techniques like the continuous chanting of sacred mantras. These chants help them stay focused and connected.
You want to live like everybody else.
It's called
I'm blessed with them. So.
Tension from the mind and body, allowing them to remain at peace, even in the harshest of conditions. But for this monk, the goal isn't just survival, it's about achieving.
You gotta figure out what is it that I want to do for the rest of my life.
His remarkable feats of endurance are not meant to impress, but to demonstrate the power of
devotion
and the incredible capability.
I'm just gonna chill.
Number 16, Liu Quan.
Go with the flow, bro. Right? Take it day by day.
This month belongs.
I ain't got nobody else to worry about but myself. I'm like Buddha right now. Buddha's like, you know what? I don't know about nobody but me right now. Leave me alone. Let me go in the wood. Fuck that. If I'm hungry, I'll look for food. You dare come next to me. Don't give me food. Alright? I'm only eating 1 grain a day. Why are you giving me a bowl of rice? I only want 1 grain. That was the teaching of Buddha, right? The suffering. Then you're like, why the fuck am I only eating 1 grain of rice a day? I'm dying because of this shit. I can't do nothing if I ain't got no energy. Yeah, then he had an awakening like, oh, I can eat this as long as they just give it to me instead of me taking it or killing for it. Like, okay, so you made a mistake. All right, I guess you're human yourself. You're just a spiritual being having a human experience. You want to see God real quick? Don't fucking eat. Kill your body. But if you want to connect with God and thank your body, eat. Hey, don't eat anything crazy. Well, do whatever you got to do as long as you're happy. That's what I think. And don't fucking make other people suffer. That's all.
Number 15, monk climbs steep mountain without harness. Monks are no strangers to performing awe-inspiring feats that seem beyond the capabilities of ordinary people. In a recent viral video,
show gratitude.
Climbing steep mountain without any safety harness or ropes. The video
you live right now on YouTube.
Shows the monk ascending the rugged slope with nothing but his bare feet, while a woman nearby.
Live on YouTube right now.
What makes his feat so extraordinary? The monk's incredible skill is attributed to years of disciplined practice in yoga, meditation, and breath control. Monks often use special breathing techniques to center their focus and maintain control.
This guy come in the room.
people would find impossible.
Other guy.
While the woman carefully navigates and climbs the assistance of ropes, the monk calmly walks up the mountain as if it were a leisurely hike. The sight left many viewers speechless, and Twitter users couldn't resist chiming in. Comments like clumsy versus experience and the power of yoga, meditation, and practice encapsulate the astonishment that this incredible
Look, he does that a lot. That's why I don't need to do that.
meditation, or is there something more? According to practitioners, monks develop
They watch it. I'm watching a video of a monk walking up a hill, mountain, with just his feet.
By mastering the art of being completely present in the moment, monks can
got shield. You got like 8 heads of shield.
Over time, this intense focus
Full of water,
can allow
with
it to
rage,
perform such physical and
snakes.
with apparent ease.
Yeah,
Number
snake, right?
14, the mummified monk of Thailand, Luang Pho Deng. Imagine walking into a peaceful Thai temple and seeing a monk sitting in deep
Something like
meditation. He's just taking a short break from his spiritual
Man,
journey. This monk
he has
Luang
the
Pho Deng
snake
is in a state
covering
of
him.
fascinating.
Oh, Buddha.
Isn't a typical monk. He's a mystical
I don't think that's real. That's not talking about a snake, bro.
His mummified body
It's talking about his like Kundalini or some shit. I think, unless you're talking about the Nagas.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know. I think, to be honest, I think they're talking about his like his Kundalini. It's like the Kundalini is a snake that wrap around your spine. You know, like if you see the symbol, the Egyptian symbol of medicine. You got a stick, a staff, and then a 2 snake going around it. That's what you call the Kundalini. So when your Kundalini go all the way up, it comes like that. The cobra open up like this. That's saying in you, you awaken the light, awaken them the light. Yeah, because I think now because now you can manifest shit, you can make shit happen. It's like magic.
Shield, and I do.
Jesus. But for him, they put a circle.
The floating Buddhist monk woman. This unique
Oh, shit.
Shield.
practitioner embodies a blend of tradition.
You have a circle, a halo.
Imagine walking along the riverbanks of Thailand. Where
Oh, I was gonna show you something.
I see you.
We're gonna show you something because they're talking about the Buddha hair. He have the halo thingy, but that's a whole different story. I was
And the
like,
3 eyes.
that's,
Ancient aliens.
that's talking about your organ that's in between your brain. You know, your brain have 2 halves, this side and this side. In between your brain, there's a piece of organ. It's called the pineal gland. So the pineal gland is this big. I'll show you how big it is.
Allows her to connect intimately with nature.
It's like this. It looked like this.
As the sun rises over the horizon, casting golden reflections on the water's surface, each day involves chanting, prayers, and offerings made to the spirit of the river. Now,
Oh yeah, the pineal gland look like that. That
the water serves as both a sanctuary and a source of wisdom, reminding her.
so that big. So it's just like it's the size of a grain of rice, right? And it's right between both of the brain. Where you know where your spine, where your ear is, deep in the middle between your 2 brain. That little small piece of organ is there. That's the 3rd eye. That's Christ conscious. So that organ is made of just crystal. Just imagine a crystal rock in your brain. There's a lot of crystal in your fucking body, bro. They don't tell you that shit. Your whole body's made out of crystal. That's why when your body freeze, like if somebody died from freezing, the reason why they die because the blood vessel got the blood in their body, cut the blood vessel, because the liquid become an ice, and the ice, open up your body like sharp. Because your body is made out of crystal. The crystal is like any crystal is energy source. Your whole body is made out of crystal, so you can use the energy to travel throughout your whole body. And imagine your body is like your whole body is like an antenna. Your whole body is like the obelisk of Egypt. It's like that. You're walking fucking energy source. Like all you gotta do now is connect the shit with the outside, so then you can do whatever you want. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to connect this with that. Once I can unlock that stage, now we talking. Now we're talking. That's what everybody's trying to do, right? Get out the fucking 3D reality. But that's what I found out. People that does that can do that, they look at life like, oh, fuck. Okay, now what? Okay, I got out, but everybody else is still in there. All the people I love, they still in there. I'm out, but they still there. If I love them, like how I say I love them, I need to get them out of there. why am I the only one out here when they're stuck in there? It's like I'm freed from the prison, but they're still in prison. Like, you know, it's like, damn, bro, like, damn, we connected, you know what I'm saying? Yo, man, you helped me out a lot when I was locked up. Da, 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 da. Yo, thanks for the food. Thanks for the you know, it's like imagine yourself being locked up in jail, bro. And then when you get out, the people that you love all those time that you was in jail, that help you out along the way, even the people you come across and all that. It's like, damn, I don't want them to go through that shit because I went through that shit and I didn't like that shit. Not saying we in prison, bro, or anything like that. I'm just saying, imagine that. So imagine when you understand that this reality, like why is everybody so like stressed out? Da, 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 da. And then when you get out of that and you know how to get out of it, you don't want those people to suffer, but at the same time, you don't want them like, you know, like you don't want to force them to do anything. That's what the teaching of everybody. Teaching of Jesus, Buddha, like, yo, listen, I told you what to do. You don't listen to me. That's on you. All right. Remember that book I read for you, the chapter like the Lao Tzu, Tao Te Ching. Is he just like, you know what? You got to listen to me. All right, fuck it. You know, I'm sick and tired of this shit. Here, learn, read this shit, do this shit. I'm out. I'm good. You be good. Same thing with Jesus did the same shit. Jesus is like, yo, why everybody trying to kill me over here? Like, yo, you a hater, Jesus. No, I ain't a hater. It's just that you guys why you lying to them for, man? You fucked up for lying to them like that. You taking advantage of them. Yo, get the fuck out of here, bro. I ain't trying to kill you. Get the fuck. Like, man, whatever. I'm out of here, bro. That's how Yeshua was. So he went to the next block. He went to the next country, whatever. He's always like, damn, man, you teaching them this shit's wrong. Don't tell them that shit. No. You teaching them the wrong thing, man. You telling them all wrong thing. What you guys doing? Don't do that. Oh, don't kill those babies. What's wrong with you? Why you killing babies? And they're like, yo, get the fuck out of here, bro. No, go get that nigga. Like, yo, bro, you got to get out. And I next. So Jesus, a lot of, like I said, he went everywhere because he always go to one place, talk so much shit because like he's like what you call snitch. If you think about it, you know what I'm saying? He's like, yo, he's snitching on every motherfucker, all fuck niggas. Everybody trying to take advantage of somebody else. He's snitching on all of them. So they're like, you better get out of here before we kill your ass. We know who you are. You the son of God. But yo, enough is enough, bro. We're not gonna kill you. We're gonna let somebody else kill you. That's how they got him, though. Nobody want to kill him, but somebody got to. That's why it took a motherfucking 3 days to die. And you're like, nobody want to kill me, bro. I don't know why you putting me up here for. Why don't you just kill me? Chop my neck off. You know, like, do it like the Chinese did. The Chinese should chop a motherfucking neck off. They don't give a fuck. Why didn't they just hang him? Yeah, it's like it's weird. Like, why don't they just instead of letting him hang there for 3 days? You know why they let him hang there for 3 days though? Because nobody got the balls to kill motherfucker. Like, damn, I don't know. Cause everybody know deep down inside what he said was real shit. Like, that's the truth, bro. Like, I felt what he said was so real, man. Like, have you? Yeah, I'm talking about Yeshua shit, Jesus Christ, whatever. That's how I feel. Like when I think about it, like you don't want to kill him because you want somebody else to be because you're scared. Because you scared deep down inside of your heart, like whatever this motherfucker said make a lot of sense to your ass. So you still want the riches, and you still want to believe what he's saying, but you're stuck in the matrix because you believe in what you see instead of what you feel. You know what I'm saying? It's like everybody want the stuff in front of them first instead of the feeling. But then the more I watch all these videos, like once you feel it, you're gonna get it. Don't feel it first. Feeling, I think, like I said, the heart chakra, the fourth. You gotta beat the third dimension into the fourth dimension, which is the next stage of life, human evolution, going through the fourth dimension. We're stuck in that third dimension right now. Once you pass the third, you ain't gotta worry about demons, the devil, none of that. Because everything else is just God, this, God, that. Because now it's like everything is possible type of shit.
Advocating for equal opportunities for nuns, making significant progress towards gender equality within the
like,
community.
Whatever you think about happen in real life. Just real life. When I say real life, I'm talking about you as this person, as this body, your body, my body, whatever. But after this body died, we go back to our original self. Shit don't matter. Like, ain't shit. Oh.
His story began like many months of rigorous studies and deep.
Buddha got burned?
Yeah,
his founding of the Pure Land School of Buddhism. At its core, this school emphasized salvation.
You're talking about Buddha got burned.
This was a groundbreaking.
Oh, when he was going like this?
Yeah, you got burned.
One might wonder how someone
What you mean?
be entrenched.
You never sleep on your side before?
For sure, but it has like a
practice of chanting Namu
painting of him
translates
in Burning Temple.
in Amida Buddha. He believed
I don't know. You're talking about painting though. First of all, you gotta find out who the hell paint that. What is the painting about?
Why he died like that? He wasn't burned, so
He didn't die, did he? I'm on the painting. You talking on the painting?
yeah, the painting, like that all his monks who want to burn him.
Monumental by democratizing Buddhism,
He made him something.
salvation accessible to everyone.
His body? Talking about his body?
His teaching
Yeah, his body.
ordinary people who found solace in
I don't know. I'm watching a bunch of Buddha shit right now.
I know that.
Japan's most influential Buddhist sects, shaping the
But they're not talking about the Buddha you're talking about. They're talking about a bunch of other Buddhas. There's a lot of Buddhas, you know that, right?
This shift had profound implications.
You can become a Buddha, bro. You can get the Christ conscious, bro. You can do all that.
Talk about lung
Where
cancer.
the air is thin, but the spiritual presence is strong. There's a figure both revered and mysterious. The Gyawa Mappa, often called the Black Cat Lama. His title alone makes you wonder, doesn't it? As the leader of the Karma Kagyu school of Tibetan Buddhism, Gyawa Karmapa plays a crucial role in
Oh, the Buddha. The first one.
the 12th century by Dushan has produced a series of reincarnated leaders who are believed to embody wisdom and compassion from lifetime.
I don't know. To be honest, I'm not
Karmapa
there yet.
guiding countless practitioners On their spiritual journey,
Because
one of the most mysterious.
every time I hear about the Buddha thing, I get confused. But I never read the Buddha thing.
Tibetan Buddhism during this
I don't know. I was thinking that one.
to show his unique
So
ability
with
to
temple, you
control
see all
negative
those
sure. Equal to his speaking ceremonies, describe an
It's
almost
funny,
otherworldly
bro.
Just that when I growing up and I heard the story about Buddha, like you have a family, a wife and a kid, and he's a king or whatever. Then one night he'll leave his family. That sounds fucked up already.
He might go make his own
Oh, look at that. Just that story, just that story alone sound dumb for me.
disciple. Make his own disciple.
No, this is way before that. This is before he become the Buddha. I'm talking about when he left his kid
Oh,
and his wife and ran out the king, I mean the castle, and um went on a journey to become enlightenment, to get in search for enlightenment. Why would you abandon your kid and your wife and your kingdom? You are the king, bro.
I know.
But then I understand it's called soul searching, trying to say that he have everything in the world that he could ask for, but he's still unhappy with his life. But at the same time, I still think like, yo, that's kind of fucked up. You can't just fucking abandon them and shit. But then he is the king. Even though he leave, his kid and his wife's gonna be fine, I guess. But what happens if somebody wants to take over the kingdom and kill the kid and his wife? The common sense type of shit. Don't tell me that they got everything planned out already, which they don't talk about. You know what I'm saying? Like,
spiritual leader whose
Yeah,
influence
but you just kind of like,
his life wasn't
like what?
yeah, you hear from somebody else's teaching, but you didn't hear from his mouth. I mean, some talk about what Jesus, I mean, what Buddha say and what Jesus say and all that. Just that I don't want to fucking read. I ain't gonna read. I got books. I hardly even read it.
He didn't stop there.
They're talking about, they went to talk about from Buddha to Jesus.
Now, things were not merely intellectual exercises, but actually encounters that left a lasting impact on his followers. Sri Ramakrishna's teachings are like a soothing balm for troubled souls, seeking comfort across cultural and religious divides. He preached the idea of Sarva Dharma Sambhava, the harmony of all religions, long before it became a popular notion. His disciple Swami Vivekananda carried forth this universal message, establishing the Ramakrishna mission in 1897. This movement aimed at promoting Vedanta philosophy while engaging in humanitarian activities worldwide. But encouraging
Like
Number 4, Mapa Lotsawa. Imagine the monumental task of translating really profound wisdom from one ancient language to another. This was the life mission of Mapa Lotsawa, a reverend figure in Tibetan Buddhism. Born in Lotrak, Tibet in 1012, Mapa's journey was anything but ordinary. His role as a translator went beyond mere linguistic skill. It required a deep and nuanced understanding of Buddhist teachings. Mapa's translations became the cornerstone for spreading Buddhist doctrine throughout Tibet. Every word he translated from Sanskrit to Tibetan carried a world of meaning, making these texts accessible to countless practitioners. The gravity of his work earned him the title Lotsawa, which means great translator. Embarking on rigorous training under various masters in India, Mapa's journey was fraught with extraordinary experiences. He studied under the great Indian guru Naropa and other illustrious teachers, often facing trials that tested his resolve and dedication. The echoes of Marpa's influence resonate through the ages, particularly in his role as the founder of the Kagyu school of Tibetan Buddhism. But perhaps his most profound legacy is seen through his disciple, Milarepa. Under Marpa's guidance, Milarepa transformed from a haunted man burdened by dark deeds into one of Tibet's most venerated yogis. Through Milarepa, Marpa's teachings found wings, soaring across generations and inspiring countless seekers on their path to enlightenment. The relationship between Marpa and Milarepa wasn't just that of a master and disciple. It was a soul connection that mirrored Marpa's transformative journey. It showed the world that redemption and enlightenment are attainable through unwavering dedication and spiritual guidance. Number 3, Milarepa. Milarepa's life is a gripping tale of drama and transformation. Born into a wealthy family in Tibet, his early years were marked by tragedy and revenge. After his father's death, his inheritance was stolen, leading him down a dark path of black magic and destruction. This turbulent past, filled with deep regret, eventually became the driving force behind his remarkable change. Seeking redemption, Milarepa turned to Buddhism under the guidance of Marpa Lotsawa. The road to spiritual awakening was paved with intense challenges. To atone for his past sins, Milarepa undertook grueling tasks set by Marpa, each more daunting than the last. These trials were not merely physical, but deeply spiritual, purging him of karmic debts and preparing him for a life devoted to meditation. Imagine spending years in the remote caves of the Himalayas, where Milarepa engaged in extreme ascetic practices and deep meditation. His dedication was unwavering. He meditated through harsh winters and scorching summers, often subsisting on minimal food and water. It was within these secluded stone walls that he achieved profound realizations about the nature of suffering and enlightenment. During these solitary years, Milarepa composed powerful poetry that has echoed through centuries like whispers from those ancient caves. His verses are beyond beautiful expressions of his realizations, but also serve as a guiding light for others on their spiritual journey. Through these poems, he conveyed complex Buddhist teachings in simple yet profound ways. Milarepa's poetry radiates with an authenticity born out of personal experience and intense practice, effectively bridging the gap between scholarly teachings and lived wisdom. Number 2, Brother Frederick Collins. Brother Frederick Collins, a name synonymous with enduring faith and resilience, is a beacon of inspiration within the monastic community. As one of America's oldest monks, his extraordinary longevity defies the conventional barriers associated with aging, proving that true commitment to a life of prayerful solitude and communal service knows no bounds. Situated in the serene surroundings of the Abbey of Gethsemane, Brother Frederick's life story is nothing short of remarkable. Imagine waking up every day not just to the tranquil rhythm of monastic life, but also to the pursuit of spiritual enlightenment and active engagement with fellow monks. This has been Brother Frederick's reality for decades, embodying a spirit of adaptability that clearly illustrates how vibrant monastic communities can be. Brother Frederick was remarkable for his ability to remain actively involved in all aspects of monastic life. Despite the physical limitations that come with advanced age, he continues to participate fully in the Abbey's activities, demonstrating an inspiring level of adaptability. His presence at the Abbey of Gethsemane serves as a powerful reminder that spiritual devotion transcends physical constraints. For those who have had the privilege to meet him or hear his story, Brother Frederick embodies the timeless essence of monkhood, an unyielding commitment to faith, community, and personal growth. Number 1, Saint Anthony the Great. Saint Anthony the Great, often hailed as the father of Christian monasticism, embarked on a journey that would echo through the annals of spiritual history. Born in Egypt around 251 AD, Anthony chose a path less traveled, one that led him deep into the solitude of the Egyptian desert. In his early 20s, after hearing a gospel message about giving up worldly possessions, Anthony sold all he had and retreated into the wilderness. His life of seclusion wasn't just about escape, it was an intense quest for spiritual purity. Over 2 decades in isolation, he honed an ascetic lifestyle that would become the bedrock of Christian monastic traditions. If you want to be perfect, go, sell your possessions and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. This gospel passage profoundly impacted Anthony. Anthony's retreat wasn't simply an exercise in solitude, it was a confrontation with both internal and external demons. These legendary battles were beyond metaphorical struggles, but vivid encounters that tested his faith and resolve. Accounts describe how he faced terrifying visions and demonic apparitions, emerging victorious through unwavering prayer and steadfast belief. His commitment to achieving spiritual purity saw him battling fierce temptations and demonic entities that sought to break his resolve. Yet each confrontation strengthened his spiritual fortitude, making him a beacon of resilience for those seeking divine truth. Anthony's influence extended far beyond his lifetime. His way of life inspired countless individuals to pursue asceticism, a rigorous lifestyle devoid of material excesses, in search of closer communion with God. The principles he lived by became foundational to monastic communities. Pilgrims sought his wisdom, leading him to mentor other hermits who would later establish monasteries across Europe. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.
Tibet, on the roof of the world, a woman walks alone. She walks at all times, in all weather. She's homeless, by choice. Annie Riksung is a wandering nun, searching for spiritual traditions in Tibet that are today in danger of disappearing. I've always been fascinated by Tibet and its culture. I met Annie 15 years ago. At the time, she was living in a monastery near Lhasa, but she recently contacted me saying that she was going to leave for good. She told me of her plan to reach a sacred place in the mountains of eastern Tibet, a hidden convent where they still practice an ancient teaching called the Yoga of Magic Heat. She invited me to come along and bear witness to her journey. At the start of our expedition, Annie tells me about an ancient pilgrimage inspired by one of the founding legends of Tibet, the legend of the demon sleeping over the roof of the world.
What?
According to this tale, a gigantic demon covers the whole of Tibet and is to blame for the suffering of mankind.
What's on to look like?
To suppress her energy,
A
King
dragon.
Ramses decided to build 12 temples over her body.
On the throne type of
He ordered
shit.
an army of
You
warrior
dragging
priests
with me?
to walk and meditate in the
It'll be like
in order to
this, like-
contain her evil.
What does it look like? Goddess. More like a person instead of just a dragon. I want a person. I want like a god. Like a god on a throne.
Annie wants to follow this ancient
But
trend
with,
of
like,
the secret teachings
like
that were once
that
taught in these
dragon
temples.
Facial feature right here. I want the dragon right
In the
here.
account of Yarche,
And I want the dragon like
the demons.
from the
More than
eyebrow with
100
the
kilometers
like,
from
with the
Lhasa.
whisker. Like
It's a gathering place for mystics and yogis, where Annie seeks an audience with the Grand Master Atun to inquire into the mysterious teachings.
but then like this part right here, like the face is like a dragon face. But the body's like the body's like a
Unfortunately,
being.
the great number of
Like a
worshippers
human.
gathered today have come to commemorate the death of
No,
represented by
the
his
hell
wife,
face
Anthony.
statue. But I want it like on my back.
The master died several weeks ago.
But ain't nobody gonna see it though.
I feel he's overcome by doubt at the outcome of our journey.
Yeah, but it's only for me to see it. This is a badass thing. I
Shit
don't-
was hypertension. Like, but that. Bobby,
We're a bit disappointed in the exact no turning back. He set course for Lhasa. He set his heart of Tibet.
you looked at like attention, like it was been all like
Scary.
yeah. I didn't mean to. So happens.
We're not safe in public, bro.
It's an ancient Tibetan practice for prolonging life.
The
The secret is infinite humility.
The fuck?
All medicine is more powerful.
What?
There's people telling you how to prolong your life. Right here, I'm live right now on YouTube live. I'm on YouTube watching myself live on YouTube live. Myself live. Yeah, that. Yeah, that. It's lagging. It's lagging. See, imagine us in a matrix like that, bro. That's what's happening right now with us. That is what's going on right now. The matrix. It's like that. It goes to that. It goes from that, from us to that to that. But we're living in that one. We're living in the one over there. So I'm God right now, right? I'm God. I'm God. This is the 3D reality, but we're living over there. You see, now we're gone over there. Over there is gone. Laggy. See, it's lagging. That's how the universe is. It lags. That's how people know that. Oh, we're living in a fractal universe.
People did that.
No, we can do that shit too, bro. That's why I
Do you know
gotta.
that Shambhala
That's
is
why I
the
gotta learn
place
how to
where the
do that
immortal
shit.
Ashwatthama is still alive? How do people here live for 4,000 years? And what is the secret of the Chintamani stone?
Well, if I can
Why
do
did
that,
German dictator Hitler want to
I'm gonna
find
go
it at any
crazy.
cost? And why will the 10th incarnation of Lord Vishnu be
Ah,
born
yeah.
in tomorrow's Shambhala? How did the people of Shambhala know how to use amazing techniques like time travel and telepathy? This question has been baffling mankind for centuries. You will find the answers to all these questions and other stories related to the unsolved mysteries.
Did your mom see this video?
Oh, I never did this before until today.
She'd be like,
It's weird. I don't know why it's like that though.
I don't know, just the colors.
Yeah, I think, but it's the temperature of my the temperature that's coming out of my palm. You know what I'm trying to say?
Shit.
Dude, you gotta do it longer. A little bit.
Stuff like that. Nah, it didn't happen. The light didn't happen.
Oh, so that means the reflection thingy. Yeah, this is how you see it normally, right? And then when you turn on the thermal, you have to turn on the thermal camera, bro. You
Nah,
gotta, yeah, because you can only see it in thermal. See, right now this is like how everybody see it. But then
you want to see it
when you turn on the thermal, see when you turn on thermal, then you can see like the energy in the body. That's great. You should download the thermal camera thing on your phone. Take a picture and then you can see the hot spot and the cold spot. Yo, imagine yo, fuck with that shit, bro. Should I download that shit? No, the thermal camera. What you mean, man? It's everywhere. I'm all up in the wood too.
That place is haunted.
I ain't worried about none.
Where's the grudge? Whenever she make that noise, the grudge. Or the ring. Check for the ring. I know you're quack quack. Ducky ducky. Mm. You just got that?
Oh, I've been having that. Yo, you know what's weird?
Yeah.
Look behind me.
There's a door.
Yep.
This is where Jason gonna come out. Because
They're trying to get me, man. It's right from the back.
not only you will open the door, you kick the door. Not only you will open the door, he'll kick the door.
This is the easy way to get assassinated, bro. Right? Look at the door.
Your body be flat.
Imagine I was doing like this and also just watching it doing nothing.
Yo, that's crazy.
That's how they can get me, bro.
Like, no country old man. Guys, the door. You watch that, Ray?
Yeah, that's a sick ass movie, bro. I mean, it's not sick, but it's pretty good.
Hold still, please.
I like movies like that, though.
Yeah.
Like when they're so good at what they're doing, it's like they make it look so easy type of movie.
No soundtrack in the back. Straight up just no sound.
What time is it?
What time is it? 8:06. Good chatting, bro.
Yeah, it's almost 2 hours.
How long you stay up for?
Dude, I hardly sleep.
How long you sleep, man? Scared of Freddy Krueger. You don't go to sleep.
Turns out,
I'm always watching stuff about the universe. Like I said, bro.
context. So the magical tradition would be called divination. Divination's all
I
about.
want to talk to people about like, how to.
That is exactly what clairvoyance is all about.
See, what it is, I don't have anybody to teach me this stuff, so I have to watch like stuff on YouTube
Whether that's
to
actually
learn it on my
The
own.
short story is, yeah, it is a real thing. We can test it. So we have
I want
divination
aim.
as a magical practice. We have something I call force
Naughty.
of will, which is impressing
I'm
your
that.
the world and making it do things according to your will.
That's like
And
bubble
the
gum.
category is theurgy, which is being spirits or invisible, sometimes non-human entities.
We
of
went
one
all
sort
the
or
way
another.
to the back.
So each of these
Camera.
three classes, divination, force of will, and theurgy,
You got the balls to
there
do
are
that, bro.
analogs in the scientific
Oh,
world.
that's about
Tested and have been shown to be
Bohemian Grove.
Someone who is
Yeah, but when
dedicated
you
to the study
did it,
of
like it's
comes from a scientific
Camera.
perspective and shows all of the
you know,
actual
YouTube shit.
clinical
I wonder what happened if I typed it in right now.
that side phenomenon or magical principles
I don't
are
know.
real. And in this podcast, we talk about not only the history, but also the practice and how to utilize these practices to live a more interesting.
Like I said, I'm past that.
So enjoy this podcast with Dean Ray.
That is just Illuminati. Like there's a group of people that's controlling a lot of things. The world, to be honest.
In a world where magic is real. So the
Illuminati, I think,
magic
it's
for
just
me
like
is something that I've been aware of for
another branch of the
since
church.
my first encounter with Quechua healer, Maestro Orlando Chuan of the ayahuasca.
That's not even based on anything I learned. Anything.
Started learning about
This is just how I feel. Something deep down inside of me just saying that
the normal course of business.
Illuminati is like
in those realms.
part of the
And so
church.
this has been many years. My
The
own
world is
personal
controlled by the
experience
church.
with magic has been
That's what I think.
Yeah.
learning from the great lineage traditions.
Like
Most
the
of
world's
now in
controlled by
medicine,
religion
it's
type of
less
shit.
so in the Western Crowley esoteric tradition.
So I'm past that.
Blavatsky.
They want to control the world,
It's
okay.
really
But
read
my world's
it,
deep
which is
within me.
approaching it from not the, and it's not a truth,
I remember
approaching
3
it from
months
a lot
ago
of the
before I
Western
got the
traditional
apartment, I was
concepts
telling, I was saying,
and
I
see
just
how
want
they
somebody,
apply
I just want
to
somewhere to
some of
get
the
out of here.
understandings that I kind of
Give me a 1-bedroom somewhere in the woods. I don't care. You know, I'm willing to like.
I want
the little things.
because not everybody's going to be like
And how I got more than what I asked for.
experience that
allows
saying?
them to
It's
know
like-
in their body with
and-
full noses to
And
grow.
it was like, am I being too greedy because I'm asking for more? Because what I'm learning is like, you could get more, bro.
Define magic.
It's, this guy just said magic.
I'm looking at it from a
See, I
scientific
believe in magic now,
perspective.
bro. Telling you.
And I do that because
he
first
said
of all, I'm a
twice.
scientist, but
All that
secondly,
teaching shit
science is a way of
that-
gathering objective data about
that they've been teaching us is all wrong, bro.
And if
Looks like
only
Penguin with
persisted
with
as a
mustache.
subjective experience,
These are like real
then
people.
people would say, well, that's good for fantasy, but it's not real. Because we equate real with
And I see you.
objective, measurable events.
These are like scientists and shit.
Understanding that of magic is that first of all,
Oh,
it
it is
follows a
already
different
dark now.
worldview than the worldview of science. Science starts with everything is matter and energy. It's reductive materialism. It's really, really good. It's
Right.
understanding the nature of
Over here, get dark.
Dark.
Yeah.
It's time frame.
I'm trying to understand subjective
Get
Dude.
dark too early, bro.
It gets dark by like 6 o'clock.
From a scientific
I know, man.
just to say magic, traditional, esoteric.
You like these time frames?
Because perspective,
Oh man,
you are living-
I love the fall.
you are
I like earlier sitting out there with the wind breeze.
Around 7 or 8. I got things to do. Like laundry and shit.
not from that.
Oh yeah, I got a laundry downstairs.
Yeah, me too. Basement.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Why the hell you go to? Why the hell you go to Broadway?
The landlord. Remember when I told you I used to go to that one laundry over there on the street? Yeah, I don't need to. So the landlord said, yeah, like a laundry downstairs. I can do it, you know. Make it easier for me, you know.
Is it for free?
It is
$1.50.
exactly the same thing that scientists have been studying.
Is it the one you put the corner or what?
Coins, yeah, coins in.
Oh, he's smart. Hold on, the whole building is connected, right?
Yeah.
So everybody get to use it?
Oh yeah, everybody, yeah.
So everybody go through the same door, or you have your own door?
No, same door.
What are you gonna
Like
say?
everybody else.
Because one of my boys' old house, they have the same thing. Like the basement, the whole apartment is connected, but instead of one door, they all use one separate door. And you could get robbed like that.
That is exactly what it's going to go about.
It's like room 2.
Right, and then-
They have like 2 doors, but the other door is down there open.
The real thing. The short story is.
Top door is closed, but down door is open. Anything could happen, right?
The world.
But you got a door from your apartment down there too, right?
And third category is theory.
Apartment? Like down? Right there?
From your apartment.
Sometimes.
No, like down, no.
There's divination or the will. Theory, there are.
It's like people goes down there.
Because I used to live across the street on you know, right across the street from you, the house on the corner.
Places that I wanna expand the brackets.
That building, that 4 apartment is connected. The basement is connected.
That you're talking about, and I appreciated you.
But we each got our own doorway to go to the basement.
But one of the
Something
things
like
we're
that.
Talking about is.
No, I don't have that. I don't have that. I have to go down.
You know, I used to live across the street too, right on 85 Willie Street. You know, that's where I grew up, right when I was young.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
So I used to live right across the street.
Yeah.
You know, you go to the end of your street, the house right onto the left side. I used to live on the 2nd floor and the 3rd floor. That's my room right there on the 3rd floor.
Fundamentally requires, like I said, this.
But that house is crazy though.
the worldview
I mean, people say it's
has,
crazy,
you know,
but
whether it's mind consciousness. Or
I think it's
whether,
alright.
you know, Shekhinah in the work that I do with Rabbi Daphne.
Yeah, I
uh,
only remember like me building a clubhouse, playing with girls, playing in like when the backyard get flooded during the rainfall, like the whole backyard get flooded. Like the driveway going down to the back, it's like it used to be just all dirt back there. With the garage, we used to like steal the market basket cart, the molars cart, and take it to the backyard and fucking build a clubhouse with it, play in the dirt with mud and shit. Fucking damn. Climb the fucking what you call it, the roof. Do a lot of crazy shit. Playing with salamanders. I was like 4 or 5 years old, I think. 4, 5, 6 years old. I was in kindergarten. So right, 4, 5. And actually like 5, 6. Damn, 5, 6, that's old. Yeah. I was a slow learner, bro. But I was all around the block. 5, 6 years old, walking around the block, bro. Where the parents at? No, for real. All those buildings, I used to walk all around those area. Like the whole block. From what's the street all the way to the ending? Is it Dublin? No, after Rock Street. So from
Yes.
Rock Street, yeah, even that building, the brick building on the corner, I used to take stuff from that dumpster and build my clubhouse with it. Yeah, about that 1 block radius. That's
If
crazy.
you start from quantum mechanics, you're still not quite sure how to develop classical mechanics.
Yo, where you were from, probably nice too.
Stuff like that.
I mean, dude, we were 4 and 5, 6 years old. Of course, it's gonna be nice. Cause he ain't got to worry about nothing. You know what I'm saying? Just do what we gotta do. Be happy. You know what? I'm doing this shit right now. I ain't worried about nothing. Dude, that's something you want to do. You don't have to. You don't want to. You know what I'm saying? You wanted to, right?
Yeah, that was my goal. Go out and,
Wait till I get a car, bro. You ain't gotta do that no more. We always be going up.
fun.
Mm.
L ride.
I love joyride. I mean, not joyride, blunt ride.
Remember those days with the bullets and shit, just riding and shit.
Riding in my farm.
Riding your phone.
Yeah, bro. I'm gonna buy like one of those big ass ranch up in the mountain type of shit.
Look at the esoteric tradition, like the Kabbalah.
Yo, my Uncle Jitz is calling me. I should put him on both way calling.
Way.
Let me see if I know how to do that shit.
And the physical world as we experience it.
Oh, he's bored.
Not have an explanation whether they win or not, another issue.
Unless you want.
What even very early on.
No, but I'm see if I can add him.
You can kind of feel that the world consists of consciousness, it is one mind. Somehow they get turned into that. So how does that work? So although we're in the progress now of having a convergence between scientific understanding of reality, which is beginning to expand, and I would claim that it's expanding directly into what we would otherwise call the esoteric traditions.
I don't keep up with all of the latest quantum physics kind of research, but I saw something that came out recently that's questioning what I believe they were calling local realism. That things can happen independently of somebody observing them, as far as I understand it, but you probably can explain it better. But it was challenging that long-held belief that things are just constantly happening in the absence of observation by anybody. And so it appears that what is emerging from these fields is a co-participatory universe in which our observation, imagination is actually
Because of that.
generating a lot of what we see as part of our reality.
Yeah. And if you look in the history of physics, you find people like John Wheeler, famous physicist from Princeton, came up with the idea of black holes and the Big Bang, those words. His notion was that we live in a participatory universe, in which case that's not quite going as far as the esoteric idea that the mind creates reality or creates the physical world, but that it is deeply and intimately related to it in some way. So in that case, mind and matter are related or correlated in a way that they can't be extracted. So the metaphor is, it's as though reality is a coin and you have a heads and you have a tails. So the heads is mind and the tails is matter. And they are the faces of ways that you can look at reality. The head and the tails are very different from each other, but they're obviously part of the same thing. And they're correlated. So if you flip it, the head, you know what's going to happen to the heads and tails because they're always going to be related to each other. Something like that is called dual aspect monism as a philosophy. That's gaining traction within certain domains of science today for people who are beginning to think about these topics. Large chunks of science could care less. Like if you're involved in biology typically or the neurosciences, you don't need to worry about these kinds of ideas because materialism works well enough. But
Well,
interested in the
yes,
bigger
and
questions, it doesn't work so well.
yeah, yes, and every single clinical trial accounts for the placebo effect. And I think this is something that Dr. Joe Dispenza has made a big push to help people realize, like, let's not discard this phenomenon in which the thoughts of the mind are treating every single known condition, from knee surgeries to cancer diagnoses to whatever you could possibly imagine. The beliefs of the mind are affecting the matter of the body, the human biology, in a fundamental way. And instead of just isolating and trying to create studies that remove the possibility of the placebo effect, what if you actually harness that for your own benefit? And I mean, it's really almost crazy that most people out in the general mainstream public and in the narrative still are following this Cartesian split between mind and body and imagining that mind and body are somehow separate, when we have thousands and thousands, probably tens of thousands, I don't know how many clinical studies have actually accounted for the placebo effect and shown beyond a shadow of a doubt that the placebo effect is incredibly real. Like you just can't deny it. So what does that mean? That means that thoughts affect matter, period. Like, end of story.
Yeah, no, you're right. That the paradigm, the scientific paradigm, infects every area of science and medicine. And what's interesting also is that if you're a fledgling scientist, you're in college or graduate school, learning your discipline, you're never exposed to the idea that there's a philosophy of science, or that the science is not fixed, right? It's almost taught like a dogma. Sometimes you're taught about the history of how do we get from there to here. And it's usually a pretty compelling history. Like there's a lot of stuff about it that's real, it's pretty good. But it sidesteps what you just said. It sidesteps the idea that there's something about the mind, this internal sense of reality that we all have, which is deeply related to the external world, the internal and the external, which, by the way, the place where I work is the Institute of Noetic Sciences. And we were founded by Edgar Mitchell, the Apollo 14 astronaut, who was exploring outer space. That's his job. But on the way back to the Earth, he had a mystical experience, which has nothing to do with the external world. It's all about the internal world. So when he returned to the Earth, he became just as interested in inner space as he was in outer space. So
From astronaut to psychonaut.
that's exactly right. Yes.
Yeah, that's this feels like, we're always looking outside for the next great discovery and the next piece of technology that can influence the external world. I think we're all sleeping on the advancements in the technology of being able to utilize our inner world, the inner sciences, the interior sciences of what our consciousness is capable of. And it feels like this is now, even though it's not getting potentially the mainstream attention that some of these other external scientific discoveries are, but it's still building in momentum. And what's curious to me is like, what's going to be possible as the general field of belief opens up to these kind of magical practices and principles? Like, what's going to be possible as we start to train and harness and believe in these phenomena?
Yeah. So it's one of the topics I deal with in my book, because one of the reasons, there are many reasons for why the magical traditions have been suppressed almost from the very beginning. I mean, up until maybe the beginning of the Enlightenment in the 16th and 17th century, everybody believed in magic. A lot of people used magic in various ways. But the beginning of science and also the beginning of organized religion began to squash it and squashed it real good. So that today we see magic showing up on entertainment. People consider it as fantasy, except privately they also think, well, maybe that's actually real. And there are plenty of people out there using magical methods, whether they know it or not. They might call it manifestation or affirmations, but that's, of course, part of the magical tradition. One of the reasons then that this topic is really interesting from a sociological perspective is, okay, we imagine we move along from society and this is no longer a woo-woo taboo. It's become mainstream in some way. That would cause a very dramatic shift in the way that civilization works. It would shift it in the sense that, first of all, within this tradition, magical tradition, or even just psychic traditions, there are no secrets. So how can you maintain government? How can you maintain the way that the law works, the way that business works, if there were no secrets? The only reason why people are at each other's throats all the time is because they think somebody else knows something that they don't know. And this is the reason why the legal system takes forever to figure things out, is because they don't actually know what's happening. Well, if there are no secrets, and I'm talking about the effective use of telepathy and clairvoyance, among other things, that would change everything. Well, then why doesn't everything change? Well, because there's a gigantic status quo out there that is perfectly happy with the way things are, and they don't want things to change. So without going into conspiratorial thought, you can imagine then why there would be a lot of pressure to keep these kinds of topics out on the fringe and to not start infiltrating and manipulating or changing the way that the world actually works today.
And if people are imagining that this suppression is happening now with the US government, like, yes, but we got to go way back to the early days when actually many of the churches tried to monopolize power and monopolize the power of these practices. So in, the old Hebrew mysticism and lineage traditions, like
I'm going food shopping on Saturday.
Only like the inner high rabbi was able to actually
I got a ride
the
from a
name of
lift.
the divine, the
Drive.
name of the divine in the sanctum sanctorum, the holy of holies. They were able to hold these magical practices inside the temple itself, right? So, and it wasn't democratized. Nobody else could speak it all. There was certain rituals and rites that only the high rabbi could offer. And then same in the Catholic traditions, which I think you made a beautiful point there, where some estimates that I've seen is that 10 million witches were burned throughout the history of the suppression of these pagan traditions and magical practices. Some astronomical, I haven't fact checked that number.
It came down
to it's accurate, but at the very least, a very large number. While at the same time, you made this point, there's 400,000 Catholic priests who are practicing magical rituals through giving the Eucharist, the blood and the flesh of the Christ. Now, it's probably been hollowed out of the actual magic
Why you
that's
need money?
happening there.
I
because
got
they don't
food.
know really what they're doing.
All you need to do is pay for your gas.
The absolute hypocrisy of saying.
It got like $40 from here to like New Hampshire. I was looking at to go buy cigarettes shit. It's like $40 to go buy cigarette there, and then $40 more to come back home. Like, man, quit smoking.
But we can't. That's the ridiculous part.
what?
This is the catechism, this is the rules if you're going to be.
Yeah, I got dude, you didn't see the picture I sent you?
A priest doing it a certain way. in a certain
I got a fold down futon bed. Yeah, how many times you gonna say that? There's no point of you talking about it, bro. If it's like to make it a big deal.
And by the way.
Like you guys never even visit me when I was living with my sister. What made you think you're gonna drive all the way down here just to visit me, like 2 hours away? I'm saying you come down, I'm happy to have you guys over, but I'm just saying, don't make it sound like it's a priority. Cause I'm fine. I can, yeah, I can have a dog over here. I can't live with a dog, but
So I know people, for example, which are the National Science Foundation. You figure, well.
I don't know which one you're talking about. I only know one dog.
From a scientific perspective, our adversaries are using.
Yeah, I only know one dog.
Canada, there is no federal funding at all. Zero. Why is that? Because Congress allocates money.
You don't know what kind of dog it is?
And when it comes to this particular topic, including the National Institutes of Health. Because
I don't know you have one dog.
in which case, so I stand back as a scientist,
Mhm.
and I'm saying that you're telling me that there are aspects of reality which you
Build a
believe,
higher.
which we cannot study because you have a certain belief about it. The answer essentially is yes. You can't.
Depends on my mood.
Study that.
I had
a bad
two cans last night today. I'm like, they're ages.
If Mary Curie had not started studying the bad thing of radioactivity, it would be a very different world today. But science is all about uncovering what is unknown. And some of them can be used for bad, and some can be used for good. And the same is true for magic. Magic is a kind of noun or a force, and you use that for good or for bad.
Yeah.
And that's weird. Talk about synchronicity.
Yes,
This
I
guy
think
talking
that
about
for me,
getting ready for bed
there's
too.
kind of religious trappings and old momentum from these religious beliefs that are there, but it also seems
No,
to me
I
that
keep in there.
in large
Sometimes
parts of the US government has been
I'll
captured by the capitalistic principles of, big pharma, basically, in a way. And there's a certain sense of human sovereignty.
I wake up around like 9 in the morning.
And actually through our own intent and through our own belief to be able to
work.
our inner healing.
Usually why I stay up long that time because I go on the phone.
And number one, contributing financial force that's donating the most to, politicians' campaigns, advertising for the media. So I think it's probably a combination of the old religious beliefs and then new religion. People actually worshiping now. People are worshiping money more than they're worshiping God at mass, And so I think both of those forces are trying to suppress human sovereignty, for different power and greed reasons.
Yeah, as you said, what I mentioned before about the status quo. The status quo is political power, economic power, any kind of existing power. They're happy with the way things are. So why would you want to change anything? So that's where a lot of depression comes from.
Yeah, we're mentioning the suppression and the burning of witches, which actually. It's still existing in many different countries. In Tanzania, there was a massive witch burning that was fairly recent, and.
Yeah, I was trying to do video called you in.
Maybe not here in the US, but in some cancel culture and people are getting burned in their social identity, if not actually physically, which is a much better situation. Let's not even try to conflate the two and compare them. Obviously, like getting attacked on social media is not the same as, you know, pitchforks and hot fire.
No,
Like
those
that's a
still
different
come
fucking.
from-
It does, and it's not to minimize the effects of that, but it's also to say like, all right, like most of us are in a world where we can at least talk about this and not have to worry about an armed mob coming out in front of our house. But the one thing that was very interesting to me is, you know, you hear stories about like Giordano Bruno, you know, getting burned at the stake as a heretic for just basically talking about love. I mean, like it wasn't even anything having to do with anything that I could see that was very magical, other than just being, he was just a really good guy. You know, and I don't know his biography, you know, super well, but there's so many people who were burned at the stake for just challenging some of the oppressive top-down control strategies of the church. But then there's a story you write about someone who was given his sainthood, and I remember it was Saint Joseph. I forget his name before he was Saint Joseph, but somehow he didn't get burned, and somehow he got turned into a saint, and he was probably the most magical, you know, you call it the Merlin class wizard
With
in this
Jez.
book. So tell his story, and then I'm curious to know, like, why do you think, like what was, how did they decide to make him a saint and not actually to kind of cast him out like is the typical strategy?
Yeah, it's a very good question. There always been people who have one form of psychic skill or another, either as an exceptional healer or as a prophet or something like that. If they're really lucky, they would have escaped the Inquisition.
Where's my
The
uncle?
Inquisition
I don't see my
find these
uncle.
people, squash them, get rid of them, if they were considered a threat. Well, so Joseph of Cupertino was early on became a member of the church, which was one reason why they decided maybe it's okay, we can turn him into a saint, because he's already inside the fold. But his special gift was that he was considered kind of an odd boy. Today we might consider him possibly autistic, perhaps. He would go into flights of reverie and ecstasy upon praying, typically to the to one or another saints, and he would start levitating and flying.
So the price range for those,
The other reason
did you
why
see the
Inquisition probably
tattoo?
didn't want to wipe him out was because he had done this in
Yeah.
front of hundreds and hundreds of witnesses,
So they
including
do something like that.
clergy,
She said
royalty.
the small one's 50, the other one's like 100 to 150.
Whatever the governments were at the time where he was.
You can get like different design. That's just
this. They first considered it a miracle. And the church was taking advantage of this in a sense, I mean, not in a crass sense, although you could make a case that it was not crass.
But and you know, bro,
It does a miracle to show, see, we're right. We
Yeah.
are understanding
they
that.
were next to my old
correct.
my sister
And
crib,
here's an example, all you hundreds of people have seen.
my uncle house. Oh yeah, you know, I went to
The
my uncle
results
house.
of praying or something within our religion. So he was interviewed, in quotes, interviewed
It's straight.
by the Inquisition at least twice. And probably came close to being decided that he was demonic because levitation was not.
Hold on, I'm asking you if I'm a
And
brother.
just for people,
You-
just for
you
people
met
to
him
know,
before.
this is not some David Blaine, you know, levitating
You came to my house.
is off the ground. You know, there's reports that are documented where he's
Right.
getting like 20 feet, 30 feet in the air,
Sugar.
right? Like this is
Ever heard of me, sugar?
No, not subtle at all. Flying through the air, hovering in the air, like some time.
My uncle was the one that stays in the gang and
And
shit.
witnessed by many, many people. So this-
Thunder gang.
This was way back before there were things like playing with the air with invisible wire. So
Yeah,
trick.
him.
So many reports and so many that were systematically accurate in
No,
terms of what
his
people
daughter
described.
boyfriend.
Many different people describing from different perspectives and so on. That it falls into the class today as a kind of a miracle. We don't
he's
see people
legit.
today who are able to do that. The people today who claim.
He got a whole different tattoo.
Have seen someone meditate. Things involve hopping.
Like you have the machine to clean it and all that.
They'll become very contorted in their body.
Like I said, I didn't know he does tattoo.
They're hopping, but they're hopping and staying into the air too.
Mhm.
I've always been interested in whether or not we could ever, whether we could do that. At one time I was at the TM headquarters in Fairfield, Iowa.
Tell me
I
about it.
went to see a demonstration of the world's most accomplished yoga flyers.
Like, he always got
The
there.
TM was pushing the idea that you take the TM City course.
No, I charge this one.
They used to have competition for yoga flyers.
Got
So,
lunch.
so John
It's like
England, who's the head of the TM movement,
That's still a lot of money.
and I asked him after watching these four young men who were fighting.
I just think there's other people on the street that can do it better. But
Pretty
she,
good, like 1 to 2
Oh,
feet
yeah,
up.
she's like
If you
200.
go into a lotus position and try to
Yeah.
hop 2 feet, that's pretty good.
but you know, we don't know people.
So done the test to see whether they're actually
Taking my
hovering
program,
at all.
she has like a
They
list.
apparently nobody can hover.
They charge her
So,
$70.
We don't know whether St. Joseph is 1 in a billion who could do it. Whether there was something else going on that we really don't understand today at all. Because since then, I only looked at 2 cases of people who had Merlin class of anyway, only one of which is relatively contemporary.
At least you know that she's not gonna lose that star anytime soon.
So if anybody hover and meditate,
Unless you have, unless you put her hand in a cookie jar that belongs to somebody else's.
So I've become very close friends with a gentleman named Matthias Discuss. And Matthias Discuss.
Hey, At least now everywhere she goes, she knows she got a little star with her.
One of his past lives in
That $70 worth it, bro.
10, which is post-Peruvian, after the flood, it's an Atlantean kind of Atlantean plot. One of the cultures
It's like
that was seeded from
people got a tattoo so they can remind themselves and look at it, right? And remind
and
themselves of
he
something, right?
remembers that he was part of a guild that they had guild that were.
Well, you got the tattoo of a tiger, gotta remind you of something.
And he was part.
So if you look at it, it doesn't make you feel good or remind you of something. I mean, you got the wrong tattoo, bro.
Into resonance with water and use water to cut these large monolithic stones. And some of the other people
Then you
in this
go.
little elemental guild.
So
were able
now every
to
time you look at that tattoo, it's gonna remind you of
get
your dad.
into resonance with the actual stone itself and then think their own energy
That's a good
as
thing.
in resonance with the stone higher to make the stones lighter. So the big mystery of how did they move these stones? It's alter the weight of the stones through magic, through actually forming this sympathetic resonance
Magic right now.
with the stone itself, and then levitate it. And while his his clan, his tribe, or his temple, I guess you would say, was able to use water to actually cut the stones. So if you get those very straight lines that you can see, it was just a line of water and gravity. So he talks about this, and I said, well, could this happen in our world now? And really what he was saying is it's
Bro.
unlikely at this point.
Next time we go, bro, I'm going in like next week.
That actually puts a cap on the ability for this to happen, because it's not only even though he believes because he remembers what he did, the field of belief around it, the collective unconscious, the morphic resonance field, as Sheldrake would say, is actually preventing these kind of large, big displays of magic from actually happening, because the morphic resonance field is just doesn't quite allow it. And now what it seems like is we're seeing like little pokes as we're making like a little progress, like pushing the ceiling up. But his idea is that, we can't do that now yet. And maybe if actually the collective field of belief shifts, then some of these ancient magical practices will become available again.
yeah.
Oh, I think good to have an iPhone.
Was asked, well,
Bad, right? Don't have a messenger.
And his answer was quite similar to what you just said.
You guys can just
The
come look at it yourself.
collective sense of what is possible. And so if you're doing something which a lot of people say is impossible, there's a certain degree of fear and anxiety underneath that could squash it.
Perfect.
And I think this is one of the reasons why especially in the sorcery traditions, that the sorcerer would never say what they're doing. They would never reveal their methods. They'd always do it in secret. And so we've paid attention to that in the kind of work that I do when we whenever we do an experiment, we've done it in our laboratory, and some people know where the laboratory is, but generally we don't advertise it. And in addition, the reason why we try to isolate the kind of experiments that we do from people's knowledge of exactly when and where it is, that's for the reason we just said.
Same thing with the
I don't
coronavirus.
think I want to believe in that. That becomes the equivalent of a dirty test tube in a biology lab.
Right. Right.
For studying the role of intention. Well, if you have a bunch of intentions coming at you that are saying don't do that, it just becomes more difficult to do.
Yeah, and going back to St. Joseph, it seems like so we're talking about a different field of belief because this is 1600s, right? If I recall correctly from the book, 1600s, there's a field of belief, especially within the church, that miracles are real, that actually water was turned into wine, that actually Yeshua walked on the water, that actually like the idea that miracles were real and possible, we don't live in that. We live in the age of scientism, not in the age of even really where most people believe in the possibility of even religious miracles, right? So there was a different field of belief for one. For two, it seems like potentially his, what you could call a mental impairment, may have just actually knocked offline anything that prevented him from fully 100% believing that he could do that, that if he wanted to raise his vibration and actually go meet the saints where he felt them, which was above, that he could just do it because there's nothing in his entire being, nothing in his psyche, nothing in his consciousness whatsoever that had just a shred of doubt that was possible. And the field of belief was like, wow, we've believed that miracles are real, and this is just this is an example.
Even still, in that context, the people watching this happen were still astonished.
Of course,
Because
of course.
it's still rare. Even at that time, with huge amounts of belief and with St. Joseph's beliefs and all the rest of it, it's very, very rare. So we like those stories because it appeals to us that there are aspects of reality that we don't understand very well yet. And of course, we see that reflected in all of our superhero movies and